Today I'll show you two methods to identify bacteria you have on your agar plate, like this one. So when I don't know what bacteria are there are two tests to find out what kind of bacteria you have got here. The first one is a catalase test. For that you need a 3% solution of hydrogen peroxide, and the other one is the potassium hydroxide preparation, for which we use a 3% solution of potassium hydroxide too. Furthermore, you need a glass slide, like for microscopes, then a pipette to drop the potassium hydroxide later, and an inoculation loop, and to sterilize it, a little Bunsen burner like this one. We will start with the catalase test. First I show you the theory behind it before we try it. So catalase is an enzyme produced by bacteria to split the toxic hydrogen peroxide, which is produced in their metabolism. So we got hydrogen peroxide, and catalase splits it in oxygen and water. And this oxygen is gas. It's a gas, of course. And when we now drop our hydrogen peroxide on a bacteria colony and it's catalase positive, you will see bubbles get out of this colony, because the catalase, if the bacteria produces it, splits the hydrogen peroxide. So now I'll drop a bit of this hydrogen peroxide on a colony to see whether it's catalase positive or negative. For this I'll zoom in a bit. Okay. I hope you can see that there are now bubbles performing. And now we know that this kind of bacteria, which we have here, is catalase positive. So the second method is the potassium hydroxide preparation. This is equal to the gram stain, because you can find out whether the bacteria, the colony, is gram positive or gram negative. The theory is that gram-positive bacteria have a thick cell wall, and the gram-negative bacteria have got a thin one. So if you put a drop of the potassium hydroxide solution on your bacteria and you stir it very well, and then you take your inoculation loop and take a piece of the drop up, there will be thin lines of DNA between the loop and the drop of bacteria and potassium hydroxide. This is because the potassium hydroxide can destroy this thin cell wall, but not this thick cell wall. So on gram-positive bacteria there will be no thin lines of DNA between the loop and the drop. For this test you have to sterilize your inoculation loop, and then take a little amount of bacteria colony on your inoculation loop. I'll take this one. Yes, so now I've got bacteria on my loop, and then put it on this glass slide and mix this with a drop of potassium hydroxide solution. That's enough. And make sure to mix it very, very well. And now if there are thin lines, yeah, so there really are thin lines of DNA, I think you won't see it. I'll zoom in a bit and show you this again. Okay, I hope you can see it now. Yeah, this really seems to be gram-negative bacteria, because I can clearly see these lines of DNA. I prefer this test to the classical gram stain because it's pretty reliable and it's more easy than the gram stain. It's faster and more practical, I think. Now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want, comment and subscribe. You would help me a lot.